Hello. What I'm going to do is, let me just make sure this thing is actually on. Okay, cool. Looks like it's working. Right, hello. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make a few videos like this where we are going to study videos about, I guess, tech topics, AI topics, economics topics, and we're going to learn some English along the way. We're going to look at the vocabulary, expressions, and grammar along the way. Okay, so this is basically just a test in the beginning because I want to make sure this is actually working. And all right, so let's just jump into it. Okay, so this is a video from CNBC, and they're talking about AI agents, artificial intelligence agents. Okay, so let's go.
Well, now for nearly 40 years, spreadsheet mastery has been a rite of passage.
Okay, so the first one, rite of passage. Let me go back.
Well, now for nearly 40.
So now for nearly 40 years, spreadsheet mastery. Well, let's start with that one. So what is spreadsheet mastery? Okay, so you probably all know Excel, and we have Excel spreadsheets, and mastery is when you, I think it's easy for most people. Most people know what mastery means, but it just means building your skills to a very high level in something. Okay, so building your skills to a high level in Excel. So now for nearly 40 years, spreadsheet mastery has been a rite of passage.
40 years, spreadsheet mastery has been a rite of passage in a multitude.
So what is a rite of passage? Let's look. Rite of passage. So a ceremony performed to facilitate or mark a person's change of status. So a rite of passage, you know, I guess there's some cultures around the world where to become a man, you know, they would send you out into the jungle and you would have to survive 3 nights on your own. And, you know, you go into the jungle as a boy and you come out of the jungle as a man. You know, you become a man. So that's your rite of passage. So if we're talking about spreadsheet mastery, sorry, let me go back.
Well, now for nearly 40 years, spreadsheet mastery has been a rite of passage in a multitude of entry-level.
In a multitude of entry-level jobs, from investment banking.
Jobs from investment banking to private equity to consulting.
To private equity to consulting. So if you want to work in consulting, private equity,
passage,
investment banking, you would have to suffer the process of learning how to use Excel and the spreadsheets. Okay, it's a very difficult process that turns you, you know, we would say like you go to the next level. Okay, after suffering for a short while, like some kind of initiation. Okay, and then you move to the next level. All right, let me just, I don't even know if anyone's watching, but I'm going to keep going. Let me see quick. Okay, so rite of passage. So spreadsheet mastery has been a rite of passage in a multitude. So multitude, many. Hey, I should have a little translate. Oh no, okay. I should in a multitude of entry-level jobs. Okay, entry-level, it's your starting point when you in your profession. It's you're entering the industry. It's the first job you get in professions around the world. So entry-level jobs from investment banking. So investment banking, what is investment banking? Investment banking, a type of banking that involves the underwriting of new securities. Do you know what? I don't even know, because I don't work in this area. But a type of banking that involves the underwriting of new securities and initial public offerings, the handling of mergers and other large financial transactions. Okay, so there's regular banking, there's personal banking. You want a loan to buy a car, you go to your private bank and you get a loan for your car. Personal banking. So investment banking, it's, I guess you could say, commercial banking. It's the banking between big companies, big corporations. Handling of mergers. Mergers would be like a bigger company buying a smaller company, or maybe just two big companies kind of merging. It means joining together. Okay, let's see. I don't even know if I'm talking to anyone, but let's keep going. Okay, investment banking. Okay. Yeah. Let me just go back here and read this a little more. That's all. Sorry, give me one moment. Let me look for another definition. Just give me 1 second. Okay, investment banking is a specialized financial service that acts as an intermediary in large and complex financial transactions for corporate clients, big companies, corporations, governments, and institutional investors. Its primary functions include helping entities, basically parties or companies or huge investors, raise capital by underwriting and issuing new debt and equity securities. Okay, forget that for now. I think we get the basic idea. An intermediary is, you could call it the middleman that helps facilitate the deal, that helps make the deal happen between big companies. Okay, let's go back.
A multitude of entry-level
Let me just check.
jobs, from investment banking to private equity to consulting, and that.
So what is private equity? Wow. To be honest, I'm even learning a lot of words here because this is not exactly my area, but I'm going to keep doing videos like this so we can both learn about this topic at the same time. My expertise is more grammar, but I hope to delve into many topics. So what are we looking at? Private equity. Private equity. Finance equity in a business that is raised from private sources as opposed to shares that can be traded publicly. Okay, so when a company goes public, they have their IPO, yeah? But before, so you know the way there's a with very big companies that are public, anyone can buy their shares. And they're listed on the stock markets. But when a company is still private, they would have private investors. Basically the public are prevented from investing in those companies. You have to be a private investor. So, okay, let's go. Consulting. Okay, I'm not going to go through every word, but because I also want to look at some grammar. But I'm sure most people know what consulting is, and that may be about to change thanks to AI. Okay, So this whole idea of mastering Excel might change because of AI. What about the grammar? Let's quickly look at some of the grammar.
Well, now for nearly 40 years, spreadsheet...
For nearly 40 years, spreadsheet mastery has been a rite of passage. So has been is present perfect. When we use the present perfect with duration, it means in the past, until now, and still now. Okay, so you could say, I have worked for my company for 5 years. I have worked. See, I have worked, and over here, has been. So present perfect. I have worked in my company for 5 years. Started in the past 5 years ago until now, I still work. But for my last company, I worked in my last company for 2 years. Okay, so if there's a finished duration, then we use past simple or past continuous. I was working in my last company for 2 years. But now this job, I have worked here for 5 years. Or I have been working here for 5 years. They mean the same thing. Because there's process, I have worked and I have been working for 5 years means the same thing. Okay.
Mastery has been a rite of passage in a multitude of entry-level jobs, from investment banking to private equity to...
You see this here, consulting. So, you become an expert and then you can sell your expertise, your knowledge to companies. And consulting is a gerund. So maybe gerund is verb ing, but a gerund can be a noun. So this is the concept. This is the noun. Okay. What else is there? Like you could say, I like running. Running becomes a noun in that situation. Just consider it a gerund noun. Okay, and that may be about to change. So what is the difference between may and might? Think about it. Okay, so the difference between may and might is actually nothing. It's just may is more polite than might. Okay, so for regular people, they would say, and that might be about to change thanks to AI. May, it has the same probability. It's just a little more polite to say. Sounds nicer. And that may be about to change. Okay.
Consulting, and that may be about to change thanks to AI. I welcome this, Leslie.
Yeah.
I welcome this, Leslie. Okay.
Because you.
Yeah, because you were a spreadsheet. Because is, I guess, it's really short for because. Yeah. So yeah, because you were a spreadsheet. So Excel spreadsheet. Yeah. That's the form that you use in Excel. Everyone knows that.
You were a spreadsheet cruncher.
No, but I was.
You were a spreadsheet cruncher. Cruncher we use in terms of mathematics normally. Like he's a number cruncher. Crunch means if you eat nuts, it's the sound you make when you eat nuts, basically. A crunch, 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 crunch. Or it could be the sounds of rocks crunching together. Just think about nuts. Yeah, when you eat nuts, it's that sound. But then I don't know why, but we use it for numbers. This person's a number cruncher. They can calculate. What am I trying to say? They can do complex calculations really easily. Okay, they can deal with lots of numbers very easily, and they smash it. They crunch it. He's a number cruncher. So she's referring to him as a
welcome this
spreadsheet cruncher, meaning he's a spreadsheet pro.
Cruncher.
No, but I wasn't very
No, but I wasn't very good at it. Okay, so he's saying no.
good at it.
You were an Excel monkey.
You were an Excel monkey? I have no clue what that means. I think that's maybe industry terminology that I'm not aware of.
I was.
Yeah.
He was? Okay.
Yeah, I did it for 5 years.
I did it for 5 years. So here's a question. I did it for 5 years. He did, he was like a master at Excel for 5 years. Does that mean, does this grammar mean, because this is past simple, does it mean that it still continues now, or is it a duration that finished in the past? Okay, it is actually a duration that finished in the past. I did it for 5 years means it finished in the past. Or he could say I was doing it for 5 years. Okay, let's go. Because if it's still continuing now, then he would say I have done it for 5 years, or I have been doing it for 5 years. Okay.
Before I joined CNBC, and I always...
See, before he joined CNBC, he joined CNBC in the past, and before that, he did it for 5 years. And I was always...
was way slower.
And I was way slower. Way is like much, much slower.
Do you know what? Not just that my...
Do you know what?
Joined CNBC, and I always was way slower. Do you know what? Not just than my colleagues, than my...
So he's saying slower. He's saying he was slower.
Joined CNBC.
Do you know what? He's saying I was slower, not just slower than...
CNBC, and I always was way slower. Do you know what? Not just than my colleagues.
Not just slower than my colleagues. Okay? Not just slower than my colleagues. Slower than... He's just skipping... He's not saying slower, but we know... We assume he means that. Slower than my late great older brother. Oh, okay. So my late, meaning his brother, my great older brother. Okay. Let's just skip that. He was a machine on it. So if someone is a machine, I don't know, they're absolutely amazing. They're unbelievable at a certain skill or task. Okay, so he's saying he was slow. He's saying his brother was a machine. A pro.
Late great older brother. He was a machine on it, and it just always annoyed me.
And it always annoyed me. So he could say used to as well, because always means habitual, like many times in the past. He could say it used to annoy me. Or not many students know you can say would here. You could say it would always annoy me, because not many students know you can use would and used to in the same way. I don't know why schools don't teach it. When I was younger, I used to play video games every day. When I was younger, I would play video games every day. Okay.
So for some people, it literally clicks.
Let me see.
Just always annoyed me.
It's so for some people.
For some people, it literally clicks. When I started in business.
For some people, it clicks. When she says clicks, what she means is that. Have you ever seen wheels in a machine? There's like these. What do you call them again? The cogs. The cogs of the wheels. It's kind of like these teeth that you can have one wheel and it engages with the other one and they both turn, and this wheel can turn that wheel because of the teeth are engaging. So you could say when a machine is working, it clicks. The machine works. And so if someone were using Excel, it would be no problem for them when it just clicks with them. But for some people, it just doesn't click and they can't use Excel. It just doesn't fit. Okay, it doesn't work for them. So yeah, like language, like for some people, they can spend hours or they can spend months and years studying a language, but it just doesn't click for them. They naturally might not have a talent for languages, but for other people, it just clicks. Learning languages just clicks and it works no problem. So 1 second, let me check. Okay, so when I started business school, I always like to look at the difference between the present perfect and the past simple. For me, the present perfect is very zoom out. If you look at the past, you can talk about things in a very zoomed in way to time and a very zoomed out of time way. So I could ask you, have you ever traveled to Bali? And you say, yes, I have. We don't know the time. It's very zoomed out. I know sometime in your life you did that, but I don't know the specific time. So just think of it, it's very big picture, zoomed out. But then when we mention the time, then the rule is you cannot use present perfect, then you have to use past simple or past continuous. So she's saying when. So when represents a specific time in her life. Okay, so we're zooming in to that time. So when I started, so we use past simple started or past continuous. So she could say when I was starting in business school. Okay, when I started or when I was starting, zooming into that time. I literally bought, we use that, people overuse that, I think. Literally just means I actually did that, yeah. In reality, that is what I did. Literally. People overuse it and it kind of loses its meaning a little bit, but it's used for emphasis. Like I actually. So I literally bought.
In school, I literally bought a Excel for Dummies book.
She bought a Excel for Dummies book. Dummies is another word for dumb people. Okay, and there used to be, well, I guess they still exist, but there used to be these books. You know, the title of every book would be Maths for Dummies, Science for Dummies, Economics for Dummies, and it would just break down the topic very, very simply for dummies, okay, for just for regular people, okay. It's just very, very. There were books using very simplified language to explain mathematics, science, economics, business, everything. So 1 second.
When I started in business school, I literally bought a Excel for Dummies book. Read it. Still, I'm terrible at Excel.
She's still terrible at Excel, even after reading the most simple book about Excel. But I'm sure she's just being humble.
But just within the last.
Just within. So within, you could say inside. No, well, you shouldn't say inside, but just think of it as meaning inside. But just within.
Month.
Within the last month. So inside the last month. Just in this last month.
Here's some good news. There's
been a slew of AI products. So this S, what do you think it means? Well, what word does it represent? Okay, it's has. So there has been. So think about it. Is this zoom out or zoom in? Do we know when, or do we know the time, the exact time when this happened, or is it very zoom out, very big picture? We don't know the time. Okay, it's actually very zoom out. It's a very big picture. We don't know the time exactly, but we know it happened. Okay, present perfect. But if she said 2 weeks ago, if she said 2 weeks ago, she would use a past simple. There was a slew of AI products 2 weeks ago. Okay. So zoom out, we don't know the time with present perfect. A slew means a bunch. Let's have a look. Just a couple. Well, yeah, this one here. A large number or quantity. A whole slew of AI products. So
been a slew of AI product launches that.
oh, AI product launches. Okay, that's the release of the product. The company builds a product, it's ready, and then they launch the product to the public. That aim, well, where they have the goal to do something. Okay. Launches that aim. Yeah, that's their target. Their target is to take on Excel or Google Sheets. So take on means challenge. Okay, so Excel or Google Sheets, they are the champions when it comes to this product. They're the best of the best. But now there's a lot of AI products who want to challenge the champions. Okay, that's take on. So if there's a champion boxer, and if there's a new younger boxer who wants to become champion, the new younger boxer will take on the champion. Okay, challenge him, and hopefully win and become the new champion. So take on Excel or Google Sheets. One of them
aim to take on Excel or Google Sheets. One of them called Shortcut.ai went viral. So I guess everyone knows what viral means. Like a virus. If you get a virus, you get a very small amount, and the virus goes viral within you. You know, your whole body gets infected with a virus. So it's the same for, you know, videos, you know, that go up on social media. They become viral. Everyone watches them. Products can go viral. Maybe people have heard of Labubu has gone viral recently. Went viral, went extremely popular, you could say, when it's Excel agent. So an AI agent, as far as I know, it's kind of like an AI personality. So think of a company with a manager, and the manager underneath them would be the workers, who all have different personalities and they all have different skills. One of them is in charge of sales, one of them is senior developer, one of them is the business analyst. Different skills, humans with different skills. But now with AI agents, that manager could be managing a bunch of different AI personalities. So this AI personality would be great at business analysis. This one would be great at business intelligence. This one would be great at front-end development. Okay, so basically specialized AIs that can kind of do tasks, and when they're finished the task, then they can communicate with the other AI agent. So it's basically like having, you know, just the way that humans working in a team will all go off and do their different tasks, and then they have to communicate and organize amongst each other. You can have AI personalities doing that. So this Excel agent, so this is an AI agent that specializes in Excel. Okay, it is the expert at Excel for your company. So one was unveiled. Veil, like a wedding veil, would be, it's this thing that I think in the old days, it's old-fashioned, but girls would wear a veil that would cover them, and then you could unveil and see their face. Okay, so we just use the word to mean when it's Excel agent. You could say launched. You know, it was kind of hidden, no one knew about it, and then they released it. They launched it, or they unveiled it. Let's just say there's a new car. Some Tesla build a new car, and they put a, you know, they're going to show it to the public, but they have this kind of fabric over it, and then when they're ready to show everyone, they unveil the car, okay, for everyone to see. So
AI went viral when its Excel agent was unveiled in late July. The technology can build a discounted
The technology can build a discounted cash flow model. So cash flow model. Model is the noun, and before the noun you get the adjectives. So cash flow, they're really, do you know, you can really use any word as an adjective. You can use nouns as an adjective, like video game. Okay, so we're using cash flow as an adjective for the noun model. Discounted is third form adjective. Okay, the third form, break, broke, broken, see, saw, seen. Third form can be an adjective. Okay, so yeah, just think of this as third form adjective. It can build a discounted cash flow model from zero, from scratch. Okay, from nothing. In a few minutes, it can build it. Okay, that's all I'm going to do tonight, because honestly, this is just a test. And hopefully it wasn't too terrible, and maybe one person watched, hopefully. And I'm going to make more of these about lots of different tech topics, AI topics, whatever, travel, comedy, maybe, movies, we'll see. So yeah, good stuff. Okay, that's it.